This house behind me was bought for 90k. It's another one of the Dugards. In this video, they show us a tour of the property and they go through the numbers. Make sure you watch this video to the end because they show us how they push for the highest value without going over budget and what they do differently in their refurbs, whether they're going to keep it as a rental or if they're going to flip it.
Welcome to Project Leonard Street. This is the first BRR we've done in Newport.
Yeah, I was just saying
We've
that.
had some service accommodations here, rented service accommodations, but this has been the first property we purchased. So we purchased this for 90,000, didn't we? Spent about 25. It didn't need a whole lot of work. It was more just bringing enough in line to get the maximum rent and value we could, because we got it so below market value to begin with. Yeah, bought it for 90, spent about 25, and we're expecting 180.
About 180. Yeah.
As we were going through conveyancing, we started to get a bit panicky because we agreed the sale with the vendor for 90, and in the same condition, a property's gone up on the street for like 120, and we were like, okay, complete.
140 that went up for, and they needed full gut.
Yeah. So we've done when we first priced the refurb, we've done a few things a bit different. Yeah, should we take it around?
Yeah, let's do it. And we've already got tenants who want to move in, and they've agreed 900 per calendar month. Yeah. So not bad.
This was previously, as you can see from the floor, 2 rooms, but we've taken the wall down and making it open plan. For anyone who does do that, always remember to cost in for levelling the underneath, because so many people forget they take down a wall and it's not exactly flat. Obviously.
What's that, the latex stuff?
Yeah, just filling that bit in, self-levelling.
Latex basically.
Yeah. It's not obviously as bad as when you put the carpet down. It still needs to be done, but it's a bit easier. But we want to put LVT all the way through. So in our rentals, we've always done laminate depending on areas. We've started using the LVT because it's like waterproof stuff as well. With this one, we'll definitely do LVT because it runs into the kitchen, and obviously if there's going to ever be any escape of water, it'll be in the kitchen. So that'll go nicely.
It's always got to be carpets, I think, or LVT if you're in a if you're in a kitchen, definitely not carpets, but LVT rather than laminate. And the main reason being is just because, escape of water gets underneath laminate, and it'll just pop. Whereas LVT is it's a repellent to water, so it works really well. But carpets or normal laminate in living rooms we don't.
So we made it nice and open plan. This was
That was a window.
It was a window, and we've opened this up to do nice French doors out into the garden.
Bring in all the light and stuff.
Yeah. Nice open kitchen, area for your seating, and then obviously your living room, so that all flows nicely. What we did here, just to make the best use of space, this was originally a 2-bed with a bathroom upstairs, but we looked at comparables, and a lot of houses who have gone on to have an extension like this one has got, has their bathroom downstairs. So just for their added value, we've moved the bathroom down here and then transformed upstairs to be a 3rd bedroom, and they're 3 big bedrooms as well.
Yeah, and basically put an RSJ up here as well, because this is actually the original back of the house. It's a solid wall, this, and then obviously this is the extension. So in order to create this space and create it open, we put an RSJ up here to have it all open plan, and then extended the kitchen here. Because originally, literally, the kitchen was from here, this was the door, and all this was kitchen.
Yeah.
This was a living room, that was another reception room. So we've literally opened it all up, so it brings in so much light right from the front of the house all the way through.
And backed up what was, blocked up what was the back door, just so we can fit everything we need to into the bathroom. It's a good sized bathroom.
We've gone for an Allendale kitchen, from how good this is, with oaky style worktops, isn't it? Sort of dove grey this is as well.
Just to keep it bright.
Just keep it bright, yeah, and you know, these white metro tiles with grey grout, everyone loves them at the moment, so we pretty much go for that. And we've also just gone for spotlights throughout, only because it's such open plan that we think it's cool to just have the spotlights throughout the whole ground floor.
Yeah. And how much is a kitchen like this then?
This kitchen, because of the size of it, usually your kitchen would end about here, so you'd have it like that, and you're probably looking at about £2 grand-ish.
I think we paid 2.8.
I think it was about 3, wasn't it? Because of the extra bits we had. Because we've actually got an integrated fridge freezer here as well, but this extra space. Because we were debating at one point whether to have it as a serviced accommodation, so that's why we went for the extra bits like the integrated fridge freezer, and just gave it a little bit more of a higher end feel. We haven't really got the time to be doing all the stuff with serviced accommodation and stuff, so we're just going to rent it out on
Obviously when we do rentals, we don't have any integrated appliances, just because it's an added liability for the landlord.
Yeah.
So we leave all the gaps. Obviously there'd be a nice tower base for them to house their fridge freezer, but yeah, we won't be giving the appliances.
The bathroom then, we've literally just gone for a standard suite, probably about 600-700 quid for these suites. We always go for a rainfall shower just to give it a little bit of a higher end. It costs, you know, compared to like a normal shower one, an extra 50 to 100 quid, it's just worth it to give it that high end feel. We've moved the boiler in here, it was out there, we moved it into here to give more space in the kitchen. We always like to maximise the space in the kitchen. This is pretty much was the kitchen. Now it's a downstairs bathroom, which is you know, not going to change the value at all, the rental value, the sale value. So it's worth doing to create a 3-bedroom house.
We do a lot of white and grey, but we are mixing. I wouldn't really say we're doing a whole lot, but we think we're being bold. But some people probably think about it. For the doors we're putting in this house, we're painting them black rather than white. And then in these 2 bedrooms, if we go into the master, yeah, the original features at the fireplace, we're going to paint that black as well. So this bedroom is a huge master bedroom.
Yeah.
But the whole house has just got so much light coming into it.
Yeah.
And it's so close to the town centre as well, isn't it?
It's a very spacious house as well, isn't it? That was our goal, to create a spacious, light environment for the tenants. And that's what we've done. I mean, as we've said before, like quite a bit about the cookie cutter effect. We always like to, you know, just keep that grey and white sort of theme throughout all our properties and just go over and over again, because it's efficient and people love it, so why not? It's cost effective as well, but for sometimes we do like to just do little things just to, so we're not bored basically. So that's why we have gone for the, you know, paint that black, paint the doors black, give it a bit more of a different feel. So we're having fun with it as well. And I suppose when tenants come in on that day, they're probably happy to not see grey and white every day of their life. So we got this deal from another sourcer. He was like, you know, I've got this deal, are you up for co-sourcing it? And find, you know, pass it on to one of your investors and we'll work together on it. I was like, yeah, definitely. So looked at the deal, saw the figures, and I was just like, where am I in that one? Where am I in that one? And that was pretty much it, wasn't it? But yeah, it's a blinding deal, and Newport's just gone up so much recently, just absolutely rocketed. I mean, like I was saying earlier, there's literally a rundown property that needs a full gut, and by full gut I mean all the walls need to go back to brick, everything, for 140 grand, that's on the market for. And then you've got this that we bought for 90 grand, so and it didn't need to go back to the brick. You know, it only just about needed plastering. But we did things with the house to create more value. So the things we did to create that value was obviously create an open space downstairs, open it all up.
Doors to the garden.
The nice doors into the garden, bring the light in, spotlights right downstairs. So it's all creating a light, open space. That's like adds value massively. And then obviously just creating the 3 bedrooms is added value all over. And that's pretty much what we did to add value in this house, isn't it?
Yeah.
So how do you, when you find a deal, you're just thinking like, oh yeah, how can we add value in it? But you don't want to spend too much because obviously there's that ceiling sort of price. So yeah, how do you sort of work that out? Sort of, is it just through
Looking at comparables as well. So the first thing you'll do is when you're obviously looking for your own value, look at what's the top property going for and what features does it have, what spec is it, because obviously if your comparables at top end are white metro tiles with grey grout, there's no point trying to go in and do tile floors and spend unnecessary money. So you gauge what others have done and follow it that way. Obviously you need to know the condition of the property first.
Another big thing as well is a surveyor, when they go into, if you're refinancing, if you're doing a buy refurbish refinance, the surveyor's going to come in and only going to look at the comparables. They have to go by comparable evidence, otherwise they can get struck off completely. So they have to go by comparable evidence. So you look at your comparables and you go, right, I'm not going to go over the top. However, if you're looking to sell a property, you
need to be better.
You need to be better than anyone. You need to be the best on the market. You need to be creative, think outside the box. What can I do here to be different to everyone else? So I boost, you know, the market. So I'm looking at my comparables. I want to be 10, 20 grand higher than those comparables, and I want to put the best product on the market.
The good thing on that though is agents will guide you, because agents are selling property so much. If you phone them and say, no, I've got a property on this street, I can see you're selling a lot in the area, I want to achieve the best value, what do you recommend? Because we spoke to one recently and we were selling a property and they were like, well, we've noticed a lot recently people are starting to like the TV walls, you know,
Feature
the
walls,
feature
yeah.
walls. People are starting to like them now. We're noticing they're selling a lot quicker than ones without it. So they can give you little pointers as well that makes, because you'll find when you're selling a house, it's your kitchen, your bathroom, and probably a couple of features. It's making it stand out. So ones we're doing at the moment, we're making sure we've got under cupboard lighting, we've got, you know, the integrated appliances. So that's from a sales perspective. That's from a sales perspective. From a rental, but even from a rental, if you speak to a letting agent who's like dominant in your area and say, you know, what's pushing your market rent at the moment, what are tenants wanting, they can normally guide you, and they'll also tell you what not to do. So that also helps with your pricing your jobs.
Definitely, because you've got to think these letting agents, they're getting on the properties that are brand new to the market, they're getting 30 viewings, and when they're walking around those properties with those people, they're going to be commenting on the things they like and the things they don't like. So they are the best people to talk about what you should be doing and what you shouldn't be doing. Look, you know, I'm thinking of doing this to this property. Is it necessary? They'll probably go, no, it's not necessary. No one ever picks up on that. You're just spending unnecessary money. So it's definitely worth having a chat. But one thing that is very important at the moment in the valleys, and it would definitely be important in Newport, is if you're flipping properties, make sure the garden is spot on. People are literally looking at a house like this, for example, that's beautiful, but then they'll go a house down the road that's got a garden that's done up, and they'll pick that house over this because they've got to sort this garden out. That's a big thing, and agents are telling us that all the time. People want a house complete. They don't
if you sell this, you do like landscaping.
If you sell it, definitely
Probably
landscape.
put like decking to some really nice like Indian sandstone and stuff down, especially like from the front. You probably go that extra mile. People, what is the saying? If someone wants to buy a house, they need to know within 3 seconds of walking through the front door.
Pretty much. I mean, the reason we have gone a little bit further than we would in our usual rentals with this, one, because I was saying earlier, we wanted to have a bit of fun. Two, because we weren't actually deciding on whether it was going to be serviced accommodation or not. And three, we sort of had to get the 3 bedrooms in here. We had to do that. So they're the reasons why we went a bit above and beyond than what we usually would in our rentals. Usually in our rentals, we wouldn't even separate the 2 rooms. So the 2 reception rooms, we'd usually just keep it because at the end of the day, it's just a matter of opinion. Opening that up, it's not going to create more value. So we used to open up all up. Do you know, like when you're in South Wales Valley's houses and you've got like one reception room there, one reception room there, and there's like a wall in between. We used to always knock down that wall and put up an RSJ. But we spoke to a few valuers and we were like, do you think we should do this? Like knocking it down, does it create more value? Would you walk into this property and value it more because of that? And he went, no. Because some people like to have separate rooms. So it's an opinion. I'm not going to value something more based on an opinion. So we were like, right.
I thought that opening it up would, like for me, it just makes it look loads nicer.
It does. And when we're selling, we always do it. But when we're renting, there's some people that walk in and go, I don't want to buy this house because it's open plan.
I need an office, and I need a room where the kids play room. It's preference, isn't it?
I need a separate room to put the kids in when my friends are over. Do you know what I mean? Like there's all those sort of things. So it's just based on an opinion. And to be honest, to knock a wall down and put the RSJ up, in total with waste removal, it costs over £1,000. Sometimes like 1,500 quid because you've got to get the structural calcs to begin with, which is a structural engineer coming in and doing the calculations is probably a couple of hundred quid. You've then got to order the RSJ depending on size and depending on how the structural engineer wants it. That's going to be
carry it as well.
That's going to be 300 quid. Then the people carrying it, you need at least like 4 men to get that up. And then obviously the work involved in knocking the wall down and the skip. A skip alone is 300 quid nowadays. So it adds up for something that's not going to give you value on the back end. It's worth thinking about keeping it unless you really do, as an investor, love opening them up.